Okay, this is going to be part 3. We were looking at functions and finding the domain and the range. So if we look at this one, I can't remember if I did this on part 2 or not, so I will redo it. We have the domain is the x values, so we look at the x number line. We look at the farthest to the left, the smallest number, which is a -2. On that line, the farthest to the right is on a 3. So if we were to graph that as an inequality, we would say that x, or the domain, is greater than or equal to a -2, and x is less than or equal to 3. When we look at the range, we're looking at where it covers the y-axis. So the very lowest point is here, which is at the -4, and it goes up all the way to here, which is a +4. So we're graphing that on that number line. The number line has just been turned vertically. So it's the range. So we say y is greater than or equal to the lowest value, which is -4, and y is less than or equal to the greatest value, which is 4. Okay, on this example here, again, we're looking at the domain and the range. So we look at the x-axis, which is a number line. We look at the function, which is right here. What is the farthest to the left? It is, and that's at a -4. What's the farthest to the right? Is a 3. So if we were to draw this inequality, we would show that the range of answers are between -4 and 3. So the domain is greater than or equal to a -4 and less than or equal to a +3. For the range, we're going to look at the y-axis. We're going to look at the lowest point of this function, which is right here. Here's the lowest part. That is at a -2. We look at the highest point, which is at a 4. So we're graphing this inequality. So the range is greater than or equal to the -2, and it's less than or equal to the +4. Now this example has another important feature that you will want to see. Notice on this quadratic function here, this parabola, that there are arrows instead of a point or a circle dot. The arrow means that the values go on and on to infinity. So if this parabola continued to get wider and wider and wider, as it is doing, where would it cover the x-axis? Well, since the arrows go on and on and on, the x domain, the domain or the x values would be all real numbers because it's going to cover the entire number line, which the entire number line is just infinity. So we just say domain is all real numbers. Now for the range, if we look at this function right here, I'm just going to trace it with my black marker. The very lowest part of it is right here at this point. Where is that on the y number line? At a -6. What is the highest point of it? Well, because of the arrows again, it is going to go up or greater than that number. So the way we say that is y is greater than or equal to the -6. Instead of a compound inequality, we just have an inequality like that. Quick review. Continuous graphs are graphs with connecting lines or curves. Discrete graphs are graphs with distinct points. The domain is the x-axis, and the range is the y-axis. That concludes concludes our lesson on graphing relationships.